got my crown back. Akasha records wearing Haley hands and consciousness expanded. I'm seeing through the macro. I did it now. I guess I'm in the shackle. Frequencies I thought was for me. Lock doors without the typical key. I got my squad now. Talking the words, we ain't even raising eyebrows. Doctor sleep, let me find out. Hey, I'm all like.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I am the owner of A Way of Life. I'm a career and business coach using astrology. And so today I'm coming on here to talk about the full moon and Capricorn horoscopes for work, business, finance, and investments. I can't count now. And so this was actually requested by one of my followers on IG. And so I liked it because this is all something that I've been wanting to do anyways for a really long time, because y'all know how much I be on here talking about business stuff and astrology stuff and all the stuff that I do or watch with Dr. Boyce Watkins. So I was excited to take on the challenge when it came up. So I say that out loud to say that if you have something specific that you want discussed, let me know and I can see if I can do that for you. I do have quite a few updates. There is a lot going on as usual for me in my life, because this is the type of stuff I set myself up for. I don't want to talk about it much more than that, okay? But if you're not following me over on IG, I just did a live with Miss Tara Simone. We did all 12 horoscopes and we incorporated some tarot. She did an amazing job. It made me laugh. I needed that so badly. And so this energy has been very heavy. This Capricorn full moon is intense. And so I highly recommend, if you haven't caught the video already, to go over there, check it out, and get yourself some good laughs and follow her as she starts her tarot journey and starts giving out advice and stuff. I think you're gonna love her. Also, I have the Uranus, Mars, and North Node conjunction horoscopes coming out. I wasn't gonna do horoscopes for that transit specifically because Uranus is a generational planet and typically it's not seen as a personal planet. And so it's like there's no horoscope for that per sign. It's just going to tell you what house it's in, and it's going to take on the energy of Aquarius and whatever else you have in that house. I have the generational horoscopes on my IG still, I hope. I don't know, I feel like they might have deleted some of my stuff. I don't really know how long they keep stuff on there for, but I do have horoscopes on there for all the generational planets. And so when it comes to generation, you typically take on the themes of that generation, wherever that generational planet is for you and that sign. And I have all those on my IG page as well. And that's just something to keep in mind. So we really just will be focusing on the Mars and North Node energy. Secondly, those horoscopes, the North Node, Mars, and Uranus conjunction video that I did, the general overview, those are for all fixed signs and Taurus. That is your horoscope. So if you're wondering why your horoscopes are so small when you see them, that's why. Because, we talked about all the things that this is going to be happening for. It really is for you. Also, I have a live coming up with Miss Desi May on the up close speed dating. IG page if you have not been over there to check out Up Close Speed Dating and all the wonderful and amazing things that we're doing over there. Please come check us out on Thursday at 8 p.m. where she'll be sharing her dating experience. We also have the sale still going on for the summer sale for it started on the 4th of July. I believe it ends on the 19th, and the first 5 men and the first 5 women, 4 now, will get $15 off of the price of the tickets. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Make sure you share, especially for all my people in Boston. This is dedicated specifically for Boston people. And also I did do a live with the co-host MJ. She's amazing. I love her whole face. I learned a whole bunch of new things about her that I hadn't known before. And so that will be either the 24th or anytime after the 24th. We'll be posting that video. And yeah, there's just a lot going on. So please be sure to support, show your love and support. We appreciate all of it. As usual, family, y'all already know I love y'all. And also, I will timestamp these for everybody because I know I talk a lot and I'm going to talk a lot some more in here. Just because the themes are pretty darn heavy, if I must say so myself. So let me just get my notes together. Okay, so a lot of this full moon and Capricorn energy is highlighting this big shift with the Uranus and Mars North Node conjunction that's coming in, and we're also moving into a new era overall in general. And so this is like the boiling pot. This full moon is like the pot boiling, and from this full moon on all the way up into that conjunction, which is either on the 31st or the 1st, wherever you are in the world, it depends. And that's going to be the pot boiling over with water at that time. I think we'll feel it more heavily on the 21st, but either way you look at it, the pot is boiling. Okay, so we are going to have to ask ourselves, why are we so resistant to change? Because ultimately, with this transition coming in, this is what we're facing. We're faced with change. And when you resist change, it leads to anxiety and depression. And so this is why I highlighted in those horoscopes for the Taurus, Uranus, and Mars conjunction, fixed signs and Taurus, even though I feel like Taurus is a fixed sign, but I feel like I have to specify that for whatever reason in my mind. Obviously because it's that conjunction is in Taurus. That's why I'm doing that. Okay. Those signs are going to be highly affected by change because they don't like change. They're the signs that are least likely to move towards change. And with that being said, this change is going to come in slowly because it is in the sign of Taurus. And so that's a lot of the frustration that everyone is feeling as well. So again, there's just a lot going on. And we also have to recognize that if we're reluctant to change, then we're trying to control something. And when we're trying to control something, that means we're in the ego mind, we're not in the right mind, okay? And this is when our mind starts to cut corners and we're not seeing things clearly and we're not making sound decisions. So you also want to keep that in mind as we prepare for this shift. So this full moon gives you the opportunity to take your vision and make it a reality. That's what Capricorn energy does. And so it's not all bad, family. Again, it's all about being in the right mind, having the right education, unlearning and relearning. For those people who are in those spaces, they're on it, they understood the assignment, they're doing what they need to do. I still feel like they're going to feel this. I'm just going to keep it all the way 100 with you. Even the person that's at the highest vibration is feeling this energy, right? The sad truth about it is a lot of us aren't, because that's not the world that we live in. We have some really bad habits and values and beliefs through the integration, which you guys know I talk about again with Mr. Dr. Boyce Watkins all the time, right? And so we're unraveling and undoing that integration process and how we was rocked to sleep, right? And so when you have a lot of energy coming from your oppressors, everything around you, your entire environment, I feel like I could say, yeah, these things are going to be great during this full moon or anytime I come on here and speak. And yeah, you have the opportunity to be going through this and that. That can sound like cupcakes and pies and all that other stuff. Meanwhile, you might feel like you're getting lemons and lessons. And that's because there's much needed work to do. We have a lot of healing and releasing to do. And we have to unlearn and relearn and separate from the false reality, the false beliefs that have come from this sort of trauma that was given to us through integration that has us living in fear. We've normalized fear, right? And so we have to understand that process as hard as it is for us to talk about and deal with and face in all different ways for all different reasons. Now's the time. Use this Plutonian energy to let it well up inside of you enough for you to break, to be like, okay, I'm gonna go get help because I can't take this shit anymore. I know I deserve better. Why am I not getting better? This is why. Address it, acknowledge it, go through your cycles of grief, if you will, and go get some help. Go get some help, right? So essentially, that's what we're dealing with when we talk about Capricorn and Pluto and Cancer season with the Taurus North Node. In people's terms, this is economics, just period. And the people who are really good at economics are soldiers. People out there who understands what it takes to protect yourself, secure yourself and your family so that you can live a life without fear. I'll say that. And so follow somebody who, if you don't like Dr. Boyce Watkins, go find another economist who studies money and the past around this country and how it's set up. Go look up the definition of economy, challenge yourself to get familiar with the terms of what it means and understand it till its fullest potential. Do what you have to do to find positive influences that are going to help you get out of your fear mind brain. Because if you're still in fear, you're not going to see the benefits of any of this. You are only going to see the downside of it. You're going to have to change your perspective, and that can't come from a brain that you can't consciously believe that you're healing yourself without having taken in or consumed some other information somewhere else from outside of yourself, and you're doing that with the same brain that's in fear. Come on, talk me through that. Make that make sense. It's not real. It's not real. So you have to go get some healing. You're going to have to educate yourself. You're going to have to consume and look at and view, surround yourself with people who are talking real life sense. Okay. This full moon is going to trine, okay, let me try that again. Venus is going to trine Saturn. Venus is like makes things easy. It allows things to get done easily. But Saturn is restriction. So essentially what we're talking about is a recession that's coming and or is here. However you want to look at it. We're in it. It's happening, right? And so we have to address that. And then Venus is square Neptune. Now, a square is a force of action, and Neptune is this distorted loop-de-loo idea, that rock your ass to sleep, that fear brain, right? Of something which is either, too good to be true or just too awful to think about. And so we're escaping and we're not dealing with things there, right? We got that whole bit. And then we have the full moon conjunct Pluto, which is going overboard, which is overwhelming to a point that you can't handle it anymore, which is inflation, the supply chain issues that could lead to no food issues. I don't think we're quite there yet. I do feel like other countries are already experiencing these things. And all the super doom and gloom that's happening. I don't watch the news, but I can only fucking imagine. Okay. They're ridiculous with this stuff. And we have to remember that, a recession helps them get out of debt. So this benefits them. So they get their fucking rockers off on spreading fear, by the way. I just want to put that out there. But yeah. So this kind of doom and gloom energy can put the fire out on any new things that you have going on. So you may want to just distance yourselves from the new things for the next few weeks. That's my bestest option, so that you can recoup, revisit some things, reduce some things, revise some things, whatever it is that's coming up for you, work it out, right? Or take these next few weeks to retreat, work those things out, figure some things out, and then come back for the new moon. I'm not going to say it's going to be any greater. I'm not trying to be a piss ass right now. When I say that, I mean that. The truth of the matter is that this energy is amping up. And if you are not prepared and you're not ready and you're not doing the work, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're going to feel this on the negative vibration, just point blank, period. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. I try to do what I can as far as giving out as much information as I can, but it's up to you to take the action. It's up to you to follow through. You got to do the work, right? And so this full moon wants us to take the next few weeks to look at things we think we rely on, the things that we lean on, to see if those things are truly solid. If they are not, Pluto wants you to deconstruct it and reconstruct it into something more solid. And there are things out there you can do. The really fucking sad part about this is, again, we're talking about Taurus energy here. This is going to be over a longer period of time. Saturn is about being over a longer period of time. This whole North Node is an 18-month transit. The North Node, Mars, Uranus conjunction, that's 15-year transit. So these are not things that are even going to pop up for you right away. These are things that are going to happen over these periods of time. So this is where Powernomics comes into play, which is what I was rambling about earlier by watching Dr. Boyce Watkins. And if you don't really care about any of that, you can check your 401k if you have a job. If you don't have a job, you can get 401k without it. I'm pretty sure that's considered a pension plan. That shit's very fucking expensive. So good luck with that, but it's still an option. Learn it. Understand the vocabulary. Get familiar with it. If you are an investor, I know that there's doom and gloom set out there for people. Don't invest. Is the stock market going to crash? Yes. I'm going to tell you that. Forget listening to anybody else. I can see it in the stars. It's happening. Like it's a real thing, right? Here's the thing. If you're well diversified and you're doing more long-term companies, more stable companies, more solid companies, you still have some, you can still benefit from that. Again, it's just over a longer period of time. Okay, looking at your skill sets, because the world is moving to more digitization. And maybe you might want to take some technology classes. I know I've talked about this back in 2020. So if you want to go back and visit some of those videos, I think I even gave some links and stuff in that video, even on my IG, I really went in, but I like what Google, oh my God, why did I just miss the name? Jesus fucking Christ. Google something, Google, oh my God. If you research Google classes or courses, I'm pretty sure something will come up. I don't know why my brain has just went like. So what Google did was they took on the challenge when we had the pandemic of saying, okay, I can see all this stuff is happening now. What you can do is, what they started doing is setting up free classes. Some of them are paid, you have to pay, but they're very small amounts, affordable amounts that you can just take on all technology, how to use Google, the ins and outs of any technological work from home, software you need to learn, anything that you can think of around technology, Google has it. Google has it. So go check that out. You might even be able to start your own administrative business from that, and a bunch of other different tools that I think are just amazing. So, and just your other skills in general, communication skills, people skills, that's something I personally need to work on. And then you have the more practical skills like cooking, self-care and taking care of yourself, obviously. Don't forget those. And this full moon is so okay, my bad. So this full moon is about no action, just making the decision to do stuff. So when the new moon comes, then you can take action on all these things that might be coming up as you're living your daily life right now. And so you're taking note of anything that's coming up. For the future, or just in general, or anything that you want to do really at any given time. And then again, during the new moon, you can take action on these things and even possibly adding some new things to it. And last but not least, before we jump into the all 12 signs, Mars is semi-sextile to Jupiter. And I had to look this information up quite in depthly. I won't spend too much time on it here. I did shorten it and make it make sense for people who don't have time or patience. But Mars is the planet of action, and with no aspects during this full moon means it has no real outlet. So there's a lot going on and plenty to do, but nobody can do anything because we don't really have control over the things that are outside of us, meaning that a lot of these things that are happening are, more worldly things like, we don't have any control over the economy. We don't have any control over world leaders. And, things are all those things that are going on that could be possibly driving you absolutely bonkers, right? And so the only thing you can do is, again, educate yourself, automate your services and payments, do the small things to maintain relationships, and cleaning up the smaller things in your life so that there are no distractions that may be stopping you from working towards your bigger plan. So essentially, we're talking about minimizing distractions in your life, because this is what could be stopping you from getting as much as you can done. So that's why I said just retreat. Go inward. Tell people, like, right now you got to deal with what you have to deal with. Take the 2 weeks to do that. And then once that new moon comes, now you have time to spend with your family and everything else that, may be coming up for you at this time. So get clear on what you want, then divide it up by what's in your control and what isn't. I, I feel like I want to say, if this is about somebody who's trying to start a business, honestly, come get a reading. That's the best and simplest answer I think that I have for people who may be starting a business but feel like, well, the economy is so fucked up. Why should I do something like that? Get a reading, okay? If you need more information to do that, you can email me at info@awayoflife.net. And just make sure you put in the description box a reading, right? And let me know your name, date of birth, time of birth, location of birth. And I'll send you the information and we can get started on that, right? I wanted to spend a little bit more time on the fact that I know I have a lot more people who already have businesses who may be following me or listening to this business. And I feel like the bigger thing that's going to be coming up, even myself, I'm struggling with this, is co-creating with the universe. And so a lot of you might be saying to me, we're doing all those things, Keish, everything that you do, we do take the steps to do them and still feel like things are not working in my favor, or I'm not reaping the rewards. It is very important to know that these things aren't just about reaping the rewards, doing the work. They're also Saturn lessons, right? And lessons in life in general. If you have no experience, you have no wisdom. And so the universe is so intelligent. You just have to know that, especially when you start looking at it from the point of view of astrology, it starts to look like a web, right? And it's just constantly moving and doing what it does. It's really quite magical for me in my eyes view. And so whenever I think about this concept, I always think about that song Will Smith did, Parents Just Don't Understand. I feel like this is one of those situations, right? Where we are the children, the planets are the parents, and we might have a plan, first house, right? And we're trying to, do what it does to get to where we need to get to, right? And then you have the North Node. You have your North Node, and then you have the transiting North Node, okay? And sometimes those things might not always be in alignment with the transiting North Node, what needs to be done right now, right? And so you're not going to see it in a specific way unless you be flexible, turn it around a notch, do whatever it is people are asking you to do in your life, even if you feel like it's not what you want to do, because you're going to learn something from that. You're going to gain some experience from that. And that is the wisdom of the universe, right? And so I think the biggest thing I would have to say right now that's coming up, I mean, specifically with this moon, but just in general with this time, is, right, people now want to work from home because they got a taste of it in the pandemic, and they're like, why do we even need to go to work when we had that experience? Why wouldn't it just transition into that's it, everybody can work from home, right? Well, it goes back to the universe being more intelligent than you are. That's just the bottom line. I was going to try to think of an intelligent way to try to say that, and my brain was like, no, just say it the way it says. And so It's going to take you down this detour here for a minute to align yourself with that reward. Just think of it that way. That's the short, sweet explanation. But it might not feel like that in the moment, and that's just the honest God's truth that Saturn's doing. It just beautifully likes to fuck up everybody's life and make them miserable. I'm sorry, Saturn, I love you, but that's the way it feels right now. Yes, I said it. Okay, so that's just what it is, right? And so you have to make sure that you are aligning with not just your chart. And I've talked about this before. This is why it's so important to know all aspects of your chart and not just your sun sign or the rising sign or the moon sign even. You know, you need to get into it, right? So kudos to my clients who are getting their weekly astrology, who get this information. They get ahead of it, they get to work on it, and they get to see that web. And it's like, oh, I can see now how that working's in there for you doing that. Okay. Right. And then there's just, you know, that practical knowledge as well. That's just like, nothing happens overnight. It takes a village to build an empire. You know, all those little colloquials. I don't know why that's my new saying now. I think I just like saying colloquials, but there's that part to it as well, because we do still have free will. So your first house is always operating in such a way that you know, allows you to think that you're getting away with doing what you want to do. Meanwhile, you're going to get to a specific part in your life where you realize, like, damn, I wonder if my life would have changed had I did what my parents told me to do. You know, I wonder if, so there's that whole dichotomy being played out there, right? And you're not doing it for your parents, by the way. Let me just say that. Okay, the reason for submission is to learn how to submit to the things that you don't understand in the moments that this is how you learn skills, right? This is how you gain wisdom, right? You're not doing it for your parents, you're doing it for you. It's for you and you only, so that you can get something out of it to help you elevate to a specific level in your life. Think of it as like you're playing that video game, although, you know, sometimes I feel like that can be a bit repetitious. And yeah, I'm not going to talk about that right now. But anyway, so there are always lessons that we have to learn. And if you get caught up in what you're not going to do because you don't want to, this can turn your whole life upside down. That's a clear sign that you need to do it, because it's going to teach you something. So I feel like these are things that earth signs specifically, and fixed signs struggle with, is being the perfectionist, inconsistency, interacting with people, rejection, fear of failure, uncertainty, and the unwillingness to commit to something. And so obviously not all earth signs and not all fixed signs are like this. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm picking on you. That's not what I'm saying. It's energetic, right? You just have to understand the energy. Just because you are that energy doesn't mean that that's what you're supposed to do, because you are technically all energies. And if you're ignoring one specific part of yourself, you're not growing in that area of your life, even if it is uncomfortable. So we all have our challenges like that, for sure. So this is no, whatever. So I am going to try to pay attention to It's not what I wanted to do. Give me just a second here, guys, before I get into these signs. Family, while I'm doing this, please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't already, sharing is caring. We appreciate you in advance. And make sure you hit that notifications bell. Oh, I'm not doing a live. That's why I can't see it. Oh, wow. Oh, well, I was going to try to take down those numbers on the screen while I was doing this because I am going to timestamp them, but oh, well. I'll just have to come back and do it. You guys are going to have to give me like an hour to like breathe after I do this video so that I could put the timestamps in there. But all right. So, okay. So Aries, over the next few weeks, you may be questioning if your field ended tomorrow, what would you do? Good question to be asking yourself, Aries, because it just might. What would you do? You know, how would you rebuild what skills you have? And what could you do in the future? So this is a time for planning and focusing on self. There are more opportunities to bring money to you over the next few months, but it's good to have that question in mind. This could be also the opportunity to do some contractual stuff with partners and stuff like that, or business partnerships and things of that nature. You'll have some opportunities to connect with people if you're not doing partnerships, especially people of authority that can bring in money, which is what you're ultimately looking for. So connections are also your net worth. Remember that if you don't know a lot of people, then you're not, what's your net worth, you know? I think, who does that really well? I even might need to follow him. I'm just going to write that as a note. I can't remember his name. The white-haired black dude. He looks like he's a little light-skinned, like a red bone. He's just as good as Dr. Boyce Watkins. For some reason right now, I don't know why, but his, is it George? Sorry, his name is really over my brain, but he's really good at that. Yes, so more money can come in from a raise, but just be careful with that because there could be a catch to it that you might not be feeling anyway. Taurus, you may have some marketing or a launch going on, or money is, you're organizing your money, and or you have an agreement with an employer around this. So you're either launching something, marketing something, organizing your money, or organized your money, or you are making an agreement with an employer. There could be a sale that you have going on right now. You'll do very well with that. You'll see the results for the beginning of August. Just remember, this energy is really not time for taking action. So if you don't see anything now, it's not a no, it's just waiting for this energy to subside. And if you're not getting what you want out of your employment, you might start looking for a new job. And so investments are anything that you are building over time for a long period of time, or that takes time and energy from you. That is an investment. It's not just about money. I need to make that clear. That is for all the signs, right? And so Your investments right now are more about asking what you're giving a lot of your time and energy to, and what results are you getting from that? Or just look at, or are you just looking at the looks of something? So there's that kind of hidden Venus square Neptune. I can't even remember if it was an actual square, but I mean Neptune, but no, I mean Venus. Yes, it was Venus square Neptune. Oh my God, I can't talk. But just going back to that, where things might look like things that glitter may not be gold. And so making sure what you're seeing is matching up with actual value. You could be questioning if one thing doesn't work out, what's your backup plan? And that would be a great question to ask. Okay, Gemini, look at your beliefs around investing and learning something new. You're looking at your beliefs around investing and learning some new ones. So if you're not good at saving or investing, that's something to study and get grounded in. There can be some obstacles around starting these things, but preservation is your friend during this time. So keep going, even if you don't see the results. Okay, keep going. Just keep doing the research. Keep challenging yourself to think differently about investing and savings, and don't give up. And the results will be great. So you're definitely thinking about making money in other ways. You may need a coach or class to do this, or a partnership. I think partnerships is the answer, but everybody's different, so I can only speak for myself here. Simplifying things as much as possible, so streamline, automate, or eliminate some things. If you're writing a novel, release bits and pieces of it on like a blog or something, and that might bring in some additional income. Cancer, you might be going into the past to when you were confident about something to bring in money. So reflecting on good times. When was the last time you was good at something, it was successful and it worked out? Reflect on that time, see if there's anything you can do to recreate that. This is even going back, recreating old content if you have it. Maybe even an old job might be an opportunity that's opening up for you. Anything that was a representation of you when you were at your best, right? Getting a raise is possible. But again, just know that it might take some time. And if you've been working on any artistic projects, this would be a good time to launch. Okay. Leo, this is a good time to look at what you know how to do by making a list of things you're good at and what you enjoy doing, to see what mapping you can do, because these could be money-making opportunities. You may be doing a lot of behind-the-scenes things like building a website, creating content, and a plan to launch. Perfect. That is exactly what you are supposed to be doing right now. So you may be returning to an office that's changing up your daily routine, and it might be a bit of a bummer. Not gonna lie to you, but again, if that is the case, there's something in that for you. Virgo, there can be a big opportunity that is scary, or not what you expected it to be, or it doesn't look like what you expected it to be. If you can let go of those expectations, this can be a really, really good opportunity for you. Career opportunities have been great and will continue to be great. Doing promotions will be beneficial at this time. And your career is bringing in money. So get comfortable with asking for a raise. If you need it, you'll definitely get it. And any artistic projects will be received well. Libra. This is your opportunity to rethink how you handle money and bring in money from other sources like a loan, a raise, more customers, or more streamlines of revenue. There are a lot of opportunities you may be comfortable with. You may want to jump over some, you may have to jump over some obstacles, but hang in there, keep at it, don't give up, and you'll reap your rewards. In your career, you could get a raise and get a job. You make more than usual. You will make more than usual or more progress on your creative projects. Woo woo. Scorpio, this is a great time to keep a routine that brings in income. So any business ideas or odd end jobs will be a success. Networking and connecting with others can bring in opportunities. You're making sound investments and working on your side business. So keep doing that. Build up knowledge and skill. Building up knowledge and skills will pay off. Dope. Scorps, see you doing the thing. Saggies, you're assessing your money, what's going on, what's going out, what's coming in, and do you need to change anything? So that's really good, Sagittarius. This is allowing you to take out things that are not real and replace them with things that are real. Okay, good, good. So you could be perfecting your skills and expect a oh, okay. My handwriting is terrible, you guys. I'm so sorry. So you're working on perfecting your skills, which is great. Unfortunately, you might get a late payment. So if somebody owes you money or you're doing something for somebody and they need to pay you, they may be late. Money is good, but frustrating for right now. If you are starting a new job, negotiate. If you have a job, ask for a raise. If you're looking to do a launch, wait it out for a better time, which might be 2 months from now. I did some of the research for launches because we have so many retrogrades going on, and your planet specifically is about to go retrograde. So I'd hold off until the end of the year for any launches at this time. Unless you're doing a business that doesn't require a fast pace or things to come in quickly, I would just continue what you're doing for now. Learn what you can learn from this time. Be patient with yourself. It doesn't mean that if you put something out, it won't come in, but the energy won't be there. And so it really depends on what it is you're looking for and what expectations you have around it, to just know that, okay? Capricorn, there is great energy to manifest off of your talents and skills. Interacting with people will bring in more money. You can get a raise next month. Either way, you can gain more money at this time. Aquarius, working behind the scenes, being very creative or sorting through different investments is really best for you right now, but not really on your agenda at this time. I think it's because you're having this in the 12th house and it's like, well, it's just 12th house energy. It's really not meant for people to be making moves. I feel like saying, if you don't care, then don't care. But if you do, muddle through it, by doing incremental things a day. It doesn't have to be this whole big thing. Do what you can, leave it alone. And the next day and the next day and the next day, do bit by bit pieces until you're comfortable with doing more than that. Even in your career, you may be on vacation or a boss is on vacation. So even if you did want something, again, the energy is just blah right now. So just making the same amount of money and you're probably okay with that. I'm just thinking about Aquarius is like all this shit, bitch. Okay, Pisces, be mindful of how you communicate your message to your customers or your supervisor at this time. This can be a great time to redo a resume or marketing plan, or again, just reassessing the words that you're using, because they might come off wrong and just start a whole bunch of things that aren't, your mind not even be there, but it just comes off like that. Somebody's going to take it that way. So personal, this could lead to other dumb, unnecessary things. So red flag alert. Okay, you can ask for a raise, but you'll get it a little bit later. I say over this next 2 week period of time. And if you're working on any projects behind the scenes before launching, I want to say you can launch in Leo season, but I'm just not feeling launches right now. Not until the end of the year, but again, just like I told Saggies, just keep in mind what are your expectations, what energetic level do you want from that. But if you could hold off, just keep doing what you're doing for now, learn what you can learn from this, get better at it, take notes, do the work to, just accept that energy. And come the end of the month, I think all the planets start going back to direct between October, November, and December, or November. So maybe December, maybe even January, because you already know there'll be that shadow phase, right? So you make your own decisions, okay? Make your own decisions that are best for you and your life. Okay, family. As usual, I love and appreciate every single one of y'all. I really hope, I probably should have said this at the beginning, that a lot of this stuff is super repetitive, because even though I'm not specifying career, business, and work, or finances and investments, when I talk about them during the regular videos, they still do come up. I still try to focus on the personal stuff, but I hope that you can see the repetitiveness of it, right? So you're not really missing anything, in my honest opinion, but it's still good. You can see for yourself now. So feel free to leave comments about that and let me know, was this helpful? Was it helpful? Whatever floats your boat. But at the very least, I hope that you found this information helpful. I love and appreciate y'all. Peace.